I'd now like to recognize the House Majority Whip, the Honorable Roy Blunt.
Thank you, Cleta. It is great to be here. I hate having to follow Phyllis Schlafly, even if she is a Missourian. I mean, I should like that. But Tom and Christine, it is great to be here with you. Whenever Bob Livingston was up, he heard what I hear so often. Tom DeLay was the best vote counter in the history of the House. I'd always be offended by that, except I actually believe that's the truth. All those comparisons out there, you know, when Tom was the hammer, when I became the whip, he gave me a velvet-coated hammer. And I immediately say, well, the velvet hammer hurts just as bad. It's not as loud as the other hammer, which would be true if you think about it. And then occasionally I read these comparisons between Tom and I, and they're usually nameless. And the one I read one day was something we don't really know how the House, how they keep winning vote after vote, because Roy Blunt just doesn't have the intensity and focus of Tom DeLay. And I've got to tell you, that made me intensely mad. And I decided, oh, what the heck? Let's just forget about that and move on to the next thing. And Tom is so easy to misunderstand Tom, even if you're close to him and have spent a lot of time with him. In fact, a true story, not too many weeks ago, Tom and Denny, the speaker, and I were sitting in an office. We were actually, I hate to admit this because you'll think we're religious nuts, but we were talking for a minute about the difference in God's plan and our plan. And Tom said, well, that's like that plaque in my office that says, this could be the day. And Tom and I, and Denny and I both sat there silently for a minute, and I said, Tom, I've seen that plaque for 6 years. I didn't realize it was religious. I always thought it was a threat. And then Denny said, I saw that plaque every day for 4 years. I always thought that meant this could be the day you clean out your desk. So even those of us who are closest to Tom sometimes don't really realize how much his faith impacts his life. We all do realize how much Christine impacts his life. Faith, family, freedom, and just the inability to give up. You know, and Phyllis just said that Tom DeLay is not going to run away from a fight. I was talking earlier today about why we were going to win this particular battle with my friend Jack Kemp. And I said, Tom DeLay is never going to run to a fight. Given the choice of running away from a fight or running to a fight, Tom DeLay will always run to the fight. And Jack said, actually, Tom reminds me of the story of the guy who sees a fight on the street and walks up to the two guys fighting and says, is this a private fight or can I get in? So he is there. He's a fighter. I used to teach frontier history at a couple of different colleges. And on the frontier, there was a saying, because if on the frontier, if you got pinned down in some bad situation, the most dangerous thing to do was to go get water. And that was the one way, if you had a very secure location, you could get in real trouble when you finally had to go to the well and get water. And there was a saying on the frontier, it was the highest compliment you could have about a man, which is, he is a man to go to the well with. And I've got to tell you, whether it's the well of the House or a well in any other fight, if I had to choose a man to go to the well with, it would be my friend Tom DeLay.
Now, here's another reason we all love Tom DeLay. You know, he's been in Congress since, 1986?